kinds of sports when I was a kid, whether it was baseball, basketball, football, kind of all the little leagues that we get into. But it wasn't until 4th grade that I was introduced into a sport that I really grew in love with, and that's tennis. Today I'll be speaking about the lack of respect that I feel tennis has not only on Manchester's campus, but on high schools and other college campuses across the United States. I'll just talk a little bit about myself. My name is Stratton Smith. I'm a freshman here at Manchester, obviously, and you could have guessed it, I'm on the tennis team. Now, me playing tennis for 9 years, I feel a little bit qualified to tell you about what I think about tennis as compared to a couple other sports here at Manchester. Now, I believe more recognition and funding should be given to the MU men and women's tennis team as compared to some other sports on campus. Along the lines of respect as well isn't given to the sport as compared to some other sports on campus. Now today I'll be sharing a few tennis statistics as comparing to some other sports, and I'll be talking a little bit about some of the MU sports facilities and give you some health and psychological facts. Now, tennis is looked at as a quote-unquote wimpy sport, which I don't really like that stigma. But I'm just going to give you a couple of numbers right now by the American Tennis Association. I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but the fastest tennis serve ever recorded was in 2010. It was 163.4 miles per hour. And by an American, my favorite tennis player, Andy Roddick, was 155 miles per hour. Now, if you compare that to baseball, the fastest pitch ever thrown was 106 miles per hour by Rollins Chapman. Go Reds. Now, that's a big difference in my eyes. Now, the longest match compared to some other sports would be 11 hours and 5 minutes. I've maybe slept 11 hours and 5 minutes. I haven't done anything else for 11 hours and 5 minutes. Now, the longest point was a 643-shot rally in 1984 by 2 women's players. Now, if you compare the longest match, 11 hours 5 minutes, to the longest game of football, the longest game of football was 4 hours and 56 minutes. Now, I'm going to show you guys a little tennis video that always brings a little smile to my eyes, but it shows a little bit of what tennis players can do. What do you guys think of that? It was okay? It was alright. Alright, now according to Marquette University, tennis courts run around the average of several other sports, determining the cost of a facility, such as a basketball court costing about $20,000 more to make, baseball field being $15,000 more, football field being $1 million if they have turf. I was just let known yesterday that Manchester is the only football team in the conference that doesn't have turf on their field, which I think is kind of crap. But track and field would be $250,000. Soccer field, it really varies, and softball and tennis courts come in at about $50,000 each. Now, considering tennis courts, we have 8 here at the college. It runs about average with everything else. Now, my question and the reason for all the statistics is, even though we're running average around how much money we're putting into the tennis program, why is tennis still being underappreciated, and why don't we have the proper funding? Now, most of the field and courts are built to fit around 100 people, and the tennis courts only have 2 bleachers, which fit around 35 people. So if you're having 200 people going to the football game, 200 people in the basketball game, and only bleachers that fit, 70 people at a tennis match, it's a little uneven in my opinion. Now, why should you guys pick up tennis? Now, in order to respect tennis, I believe that you guys should at least experience it a little bit. Now, according to Dr. Jack Groppel of Tennis for the Health of It, I thought it was kind of clever, Tennis is one of the few sports that you'll play all your life, such as tennis and golf reigning supreme over the sports that are still being played by senior citizens today. Now, tennis increases your speed, leg strength, bone strength, immune system, hand-eye coordination, and flexibility. Now, a lot of people think that tennis is just hitting the ball over the net more than the other guy, and that's how you win. And sometimes that's true. But there's a lot more on the collegiate athlete side and the high school athlete side. There's a lot more psychology that goes into the game. Now, psychologically, the doctor says it increases your social skills, your sportsmanship, implementing strategies, responsibilities, and also helps develop a work ethic. But to wrap things up, I believe more recognition and funding should be given to the MU men and women's tennis program as compared to some other sports on campus. Respect isn't given to tennis as a sport, in my opinion, and it's not really balancing up with other sports. Now, today I shared a few health statistics, a couple crazy numbers about the sport, and I talked a little bit about MU's tennis program and some other sports on campus. Now, when I was in 4th grade learning how to play tennis, I wouldn't have imagined myself in college being stuck in Schwampau with a bunch of football players, getting called wimpy, girly, weak, but it's okay. I may not be the biggest or the strongest, but I'm doing something that I love. Thanks, guys.